Student, today we are in the fourth session of software cost estimation. Now, as we have already discussed in the last three sessions, that software cost estimation is completely affected by the effort. The effort in terms of the manpower working on it, the manpower working for the number of days or number of hours, number of weeks, number of months is affected on the cost estimation. Second thing, as we have already said, the schedule time, that is the calendar time, means the time taken to complete a project or a software. The third thing is the total cost of the total estimated cost of the thing also affects, and it also affects on the scheduling activities. Now, what are the different activities when we say that we are going to develop a project or a software? Right from, if you talk about designing a website. Now, when you talk about a website, then the first factor comes the designing, how you design the website. Okay, then what are the databases which are needed, or what would be the database in the backend you are working with? That is the second thought. There are a lot of activities involved with software development, but we are discussing only few. Third thing, the important phase comes is the coding. The actual coding may take number of weeks because it is the base of the working software. Now, after completing the software, the fourth phase comes is testing. Unless and until your software is properly tested or your project is properly tested, you can't release it to the client or the customer with whom you are dealing with. Okay, so in short, these are some of the phases which affect on the software cost estimation. The next point which we are going to talk about is the project estimation approach. Now, this is a new point which we are going to discuss. Now, how you decide that, how are you going to approach the estimation thing? Okay, now there is a very simple approach, that a bigger task is broken into smaller tasks, and then the cost for each task is calculated, and then the overall cost is calculated. Means a complete software or a complete project is decomposed or broken down into functions, separate functions, or you may also call it tasks or activities. Okay, then the size, effort and cost for each function is calculated, and plus when the number of functions are totaled about to decide the overall cost. Let's take a very simple example. When we suppose we need to develop a numerical calculator or a scientific calculator. Okay, a scientific calculator works for scientific methods also, for numerical methods also. Okay, so we may say that the scientific calculator has two functions, that is scientific and numerical. Now, if we further break down the numerical part, the numerical part may come into addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage, square root. These would be the smaller task, and when we calculate the effort, size, cost for each task, it would be showing a simpler, smaller amount. But when we add all these cost of all the tasks, then it would give us a final estimated cost. This is one of the approach which is followed while taking software cost estimation. Okay. Now, the third point and the important point which we are going to discuss is the component costs. Now, what are the costs which affect or which we need to consider while developing a project or while estimating a project? Okay, so apart from the manpower cost and the setup cost, there are a lot of components which we don't focus on initially, but when we start working on the project, we come across all these kind of things. So, in simple, the effort cost is the hardware cost needed to develop a software. the software costs. Okay. Next comes when you need to train a team or a software development team. The training cost is also involved. If you are calling a trainer from outside the organization, then his charges would be different. Okay. Then the salaries of all the employees or all the associates which are in the team for the development. Okay. These are the basic costs which we always think about. Apart from this cost, though there are social costs which we usually don't focus on, but those are very much important. Social cost may cater the traveling cost. When you may have seen many buses which bring employees from Aurangabad to us. This traveling cost of for the employee, if you are providing food to the employees, if you are giving them canteen facilities like that, if you are providing them lunch, then the food facility is there. Traveling food, then the medical facility. Many companies provide medical assistance to the companies if some mishap happens in the premises. So this cost is also involved in it. Many companies also provide insurance to the employees. Now, paying the insurance amount per month for the employees is also an additional overhead for the firm which provides the services of software development. Okay, next are the costs like what we call it is overhead cost. Now, in overhead cost, that is the light. Okay, we talk about hardware and software. Now, what about the light bill which is needed to run this software and hardware? Okay, then if the premises is rented, if what would be the cost of, or what would be the rent of the thing? Then comes the maintenance cost. If it's a building, it has to be maintained right from the pantries, right from the toilets, right from the gardens, right from the campus, cleaning the campus, maintaining the campus. Everything comes under this cost. There might come the networking cost, because all the setup is connected. You have to maintain the network, you have to maintain the devices in the network, you have to pay for the internet connection. This cost is also considered. Then the communication cost. If the company is providing you mobiles to communicate with you, that communication cost also is involved in this kind of thing. Apart from it, if you have a separate canteen, now the canteen facility is availed by the employees and all the team members. Apart from that, if the company provides a weekly or monthly entertainment thing, suppose the complete team members with their families go for a movie or go for a circus or go for a picnic, this kind of also additional charges are overhead for the firm or the estimator. So when you create an estimation, you need to think about all the things. Getting my point? Now, one major consideration you need to focus on is the word estimation that is done for the developer and not for the client. And you need to understand it very clearly. The estimation purpose, the purpose of creating the estimation is for the developer, means is for the firm who is developing the software and not for the client. Client here is not considered while we are creating the estimate, because the estimated cost is somewhat different than the price given to the customer. Okay, price given to the customer is quite heavy or quite more than the estimated cost. Now why? Sometimes the estimated cost may be more and the offered price, the selling price may be less. This is because there are many influences which work or which affect on this kind of relationship. What you can say is professional relationship or market relationship. The price charge is always dependent upon the organization what is the status of the organization, what is the market value of the organization. If you are a very new firm, then you may charge a very less price. But if you are a big firm like Microsoft or if you are a Tata kind of Tata Infosys or Infosys kind of thing, then you will be charging a big price to any client which is there. Okay. Second thing is the economical condition of the client as well as for the of the developer, both affect on the estimations or the price charge. So if the economical condition of the client is big, he is a very huge name in the market, then you can charge anything because they can pay it and they can afford it. Okay. Third thing is, what is the political status of the organization? Now many times political leaders or political parties may interfere in this kind of dealings if the software is quite huge or quite big. So many peoples are involved or influenced in it. So the political status of the organization or the firm also is influencing factor for the price charged to the client. Next is important point is the business consideration. Now, if I feel like, or if the developing firm feels like it's a one-time client thing, so he may take a different approach towards it. But if the client is going to give multiple clients or is going to give you multiple tasks year onwards to work with, then the price may be less, what you can say, a little bit compromising, because you will be getting further business from the same client. So these are some of the factors which affect on the price charge and not on the estimation. So again, consider or take in mind, estimation is always for the developer, it is not for the customer. Okay, price charge is for the customer and not for the developer, and price charge is always influenced by the organizational status, its political status, its economical status, and its economical status, its political religion, its business considerations, and other factors which affect on the price charged. Have a great day. Thank you.